Ethan currently dwells in uncertainty. He's a young man facing very complex emotions. Maybe his home life isn't the best. Maybe he isn't succeeding in life the way he would like to. You see, Ethan likes the idea of becoming better, but it seems so complicated to him. He just doesn't know where to start or how to stay motivated. Ethan wants to be successful. He wants to feel needed and loved. He wants to provide for his family and be the best father possible. How does he do it? He's willing to do anything for his family, but he's unsure which career to pick. He's unsure which job to choose. He never did well in school, so what options are open to him? A factory? Store clerk? A typical 9 to 5? Long hours? Minimal wage? Would that help Ethan's family? Would he be able to be happy with this kind of life? Would he be able to provide his wife with the food she wants, the clothes she wants, the things she wants? Would he be able to provide his kids with the education they deserve, with the care that they need, the tools that they need to find success in life? Would he be able to, would this job allow him the kind of success or the kind of freedom to experience life and grow as a person so he can then teach his children? Maybe he has a kid, and his income from his 80-hour long work weeks aren't enough to support his wife. So she has to find a job too. Now on his only off day, he can't spend time with his wife because she's out working. How will this start a college fund for young Timothy? Ethan can look for a higher paying job, and he does, but nothing matches his skill sets. Ethan hears about all of these teenage millionaires on Instagram. He feels disgusted with himself. If only I'd discovered self-improvement sooner, he says. You see, Ethan's a good man. He has really good intentions and a desire to care for and protect the people he loves. However, Ethan is riddled with uncertainty. He was brought up in an environment where it was normal to be uncertain. It was normal to not know what you wanted to do. It was normal to be below average. And being below average was the new average. Uncertainty is an adversity that we will all face in our lives. It's very prevalent in our society. But Ethan ignored it. He distracted himself from the task of becoming more certain. How do we learn from Ethan? I want to start this off with a quote from Earl Nightingale. I think that's how you pronounce it. The trouble with learning things from reading is sometimes you just don't know how to pronounce certain shit. That's how you know someone learned it from reading. But the mind will only grow to the extent it is used. Nothing more, nothing less. Open thinking about the future can seem really overwhelming and headache-inducing. People very rarely try to find a way around this. However, there is a way, and those that do look for this way and find it will also find themselves achieving 5, 10, 100 times more than they currently are. In this video, I'm going to go over this vastly overlooked secret to success. And just to note, there will be no new earth-shattering tips or tricks in this video. It's simply a process that has been around some 20,000, 30,000 years. It's as old as literature is. But it still holds true to today. You see, this video is simply a reminder of what you already know to be true. Perhaps you may find a new perspective, but fundamentally it is the same information with a different spin. And maybe some more background. We all have the key tips to success. We just sometimes need a reminder which key is which. With all that said, It's time to reveal today's lesson. Write it down. Simple, right? Yet it's such an overlooked rule. Language and communication is what led our ancestors all those years ago to expand their capacity for ideas and cognitive function. Writing down ideas meant that we have more room for new ideas. If you were to think of our minds as a glass, writing is what allows us to empty it. Before it can get full and no longer hold any more ideas, we can then go back and build or expand on different interests because we wrote those ideas down. So, if thinking about the idea initially fills up the glass, then how are you supposed to expand on it if you can't, add anything else to the glass? So you dump the glass out, set it back up, and let it fill back up with how you build upon that other idea that you had. And that's what writing down stuff allows you to do. So rather than you dumping it down the drain and wasting that perfectly good idea, you have a pitcher, or you have like a gallon jug that you dump it into. And that's what writing allows you to do. It's a very powerful tool, and very few people, unfortunately, don't use it. Nowadays, it's rare to even ask someone go up to someone on the street and ask for a pencil. Unless they're a student, even if they're a student, most people forget pencils. They don't have pencils. I remember in my home, I barely even used to have paper. I remember trying to write something down when I first got started on self-improvement, and I couldn't even find a fucking piece of paper. I had to use an old piece of mail. So, and how many people even know where the notepad is on their phone? You can use your phone for it, but how many people even know where the notepad is? Even so, even if these people do know where it is, a very small percentage of them actually know how to use those tools correctly. All right? You want to know how to get anything out of life? I'll make you a deal. Tell me what it is you want, and I'll tell you how to get it. The first step for anything is to decide what it is that you actually want it. Without a clear description, without a clear goal laid out, you're like a ship trying to reach a port with no direction. You must clearly define your goals in order to reach them with 100% certainty. It's said that a problem clearly defined is a problem half solved. A factory would never open its gates without a product in mind, and a ship would never set sail without a port lined up. You can ask any ship conductor. Go up to any ship conductor while on course and ask him where you're headed, where your next stop is. He should be able to tell you in one clear sentence. Can you do that with your goal? Can you do that about your future? Can you say that about where you want to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years at the end of your life? By clearly defining what it is you want, you're not blindly getting in the car and driving until you run out of gas, hoping that you've arrived in a place that you'll enjoy yourselves at. Rather, you're setting a roadmap for all the different theme parks and attractions you can visit in one trip. The trip, of course, being symbolic of your life. Now, right now, what you can do, grab a pencil and a paper. At the top of the paper, write down goals. Do this as often as you need. Always keep a sheet nearby. If you don't happen to have one, make one. Receipt paper, toilet paper, anything at work. Anything that will work. If you find yourself at the job, if you find yourself out on the road, pull over, stop what you're doing, and find a way to write it down. If something comes to mind, an idea comes to mind, write that shit down. Ideas are incredibly valuable, regardless of what they may seem to you now. Ideas are like the numbers on a combination lock, right? This combination lock is holding the door to success for you. All right. If you were to get all 5 numbers but there's a sixth number you still haven't gotten, that lock's not going to open. You still need that sixth idea. Would it not be worth scouring the earth end to end to find that idea? You'll be successful. Your perspective, your paradigm, it'll all be lined up towards success. You'll be set forever. Nothing can hold a good man down. You'll be set. Is it not worth it? Is it not worth being able to live the life that you, your family, everyone that you love, everyone that you care for, is it not worth giving them everything they ever wanted? Is it not worth the true feeling of fulfillment? What if heaven and hell is like symbolic of when we're about to die? And hell is like us not being fulfilled. It's us feeling empty, feeling like we have more to do, more to provide. And heaven is like us feeling fulfilled. Because honestly, hell is supposed to be worse than death. And the feeling of not being fulfilled, feeling shame and guilty, is a lot worse than death. And then fulfillment is so much better than the best sex you could ever have, you know? Like, it's amazing. Don't be modest with your goals. You'll be disappointed later that you didn't write down more. Dream big, and so long as you have these dreams clearly defined, you will achieve them with 100% certainty. This is a very crucial part of the process. Define them as much as you can. You want a house. How big? How many stories? How many rooms? What rooms do you want? Do you want like a pool table? What color pool table do you want? Do you want a garden? Do you want what driveway? Do you want it to be paved? Do you want it to be asphalt? Do you want it to be, what do you want? Where do you want it to be? Down, if it's income, go down to the cent that you want to be making. And then how are you going to get there? What are you making now? How much more do you need to make? It's simply understanding where you want to go and how far it is. It doesn't matter how far it is. That's not what matters. It's understanding how far it is. You're going to make it as long as you can clearly define all that stuff. Just define where you want to be. Just focus on that. Don't even actually just focus on where you want to be. Describe your perfect scenario. If the world had no limitations and you were already you could do whatever the hell you want, you had a magic wand, what would you have? What would you be? Write it down. That's the key to success that I'm sharing in this video. Stay on task.